Oh, nervous is an understatement. Okay, so like many of you today, I'm here to celebrate the life of somebody very special to me, my dad Terry. Dad was a wonderful and very intelligent man. He was a devoted father and grandfather, a huge Aston Villa fan, and had a cracking sense of humour. He loved nothing more than winding me, my sister and brother up. Dad was ill for quite some time and spent a few years in and out of hospital. It wasn't easy to see him go through all these difficult and complex illnesses, but he was a stubborn man with a strong will to live, and he always seemed to get better. Just before Christmas 2009, Dad turned up at my house with tears streaming down his face. He told me that he had cancer and there was no cure. I was completely and utterly devastated. I'd never seen my dad cry before, which made it even more heartbreaking. Several months after his diagnosis, Dad's mobility deteriorated and he became housebound. His district nurse gave him a leaflet about Birmingham Solaris Hospice and suggested he got in touch about the day hospice service. But Dad refused to go on the basis that he thought it would just be a place full of old people. He was just 58 years old and didn't see it was a place for him. After some persuading from my siblings and I, we managed to convince Dad to give it a try, and what a difference it made. Even just after his first visit, Dad came back and said how much he enjoyed it. He couldn't wait to go back the following week, and of course it wasn't just full of old people after all. The staff and volunteers at the day hospice were, in a word, just amazing. They treated my dad like an absolute king. He was properly pampered. He had haircuts, he got to enjoy hand massages and reflexology. He also got up to some weird and wonderful activities and would tell us the hilarious tales of what he'd been up to. There was the time he played the didgeridoo, the time he met some unusual animals, and the time he made me and my sister a beautiful candle, something we treasure today. One of the happiest memories at the hospice was when my dad got to hold the Olympic torch. See it here? Sorry. The torch was passing through Birmingham ahead of the 2012 Olympic Games, and he was so proud of that moment. I don't think he stopped smiling for days. As well as the day hospice, Dad would also spend a couple of weeks on the hospice inpatient unit. He really enjoyed his time there. In fact, he used to describe it as going on his jollies. I think he liked it so much because it made him feel safe and comfortable. Of course, as many of you will know, the hospice didn't just benefit Dad either. They were there to support the whole family too. When someone you love is diagnosed with a life-limiting illness, you can't help but worry constantly. You worry about whether they're in any pain, worry about whether they're having a good day or not, or generally worry about whether they're okay at home. But when Dad was at the hospice, I knew that he was in a safe place, and it gave me and my family peace of mind. When my dad passed away in August 2012, it was one of the most devastating, upsetting and heartbreaking days of my life. The night before he died, the lovely cooks at the hospice bought him a bowl of green jelly and ice cream. He was semi-conscious, however his face perked up, and the last words that I heard him speak were, "I love green jelly and ice cream, I do." I couldn't help but smile because even then I knew that my dad was still living, even right up to the very last moments of his life. To me, that's what makes Birmingham St Mary's Hospice so special. They're here to help people to live. The focus never seemed to be solely on my dad's illness, but instead it was about making sure he could still enjoy himself and do the things he loved. In those last 2 years, it was wonderful to see that despite everything going on, my dad was still laughing. Dad was always trying to raise funds for the hospice as a way of saying thank you for the support he received. So I'm here today at the Enchanted Midsummer walk to carry on his legacy and generosity. I'm here with my family, and of course all of you, to raise as much money as possible so that together we can help other families who are going through some of the darkest and most difficult of times. It's amazing to see so many of you here for the same reason, and I feel really proud that I'm doing this walk today in celebration of my dad, Terry. Thank you to all the lovely fundraisers, past and present, for helping to give my dad the very best end of life care. By supporting fundraising events like the Enchanted Midsummer Walk, we can help to ensure that Birmingham St Mary's Hospice can continue their amazing work. So have a wonderful evening, everyone. Thank you.